Hello everyone, Fed here, and welcome back to another command block video on my channel. And today we are going to be building a multi-floor realistic elevator inside of your Minecraft world. Now, if you are on PC, because this one works on Windows 10 Pocket Edition and the Better Together update, if you are on PC, all I use is the fill command and the cloning command. This whole elevator works off the filling command and the cloning command, because my commands are going to be a little bit different from PCs. So if you know how to do your fill and cloning command, then you can easily build this one as well. But let's go ahead and look at this elevator, and then I'll go over all the commands in the back. I know it looks like a lot, but each one has its own function. So here we are on floor 1. Now I made this thing 6 floors. So let's say I want to go over here to floor 5. I just click this button right here, and I will go up my elevator until I reach floor 5. So floor 3, floor 4, and yet again floor 5. So I stopped at floor 5 right here, and then the door opens up. Now let's say I want to go back down to floor 3. Click this button and I will go right back down to floor 3. And you know what, also let me go ahead and switch this over to survival so you can see that you take no damage from this elevator as well. So let's say I want to go to floor 7 now. So we're going to go up the elevator to now floor 7. So 5, 6, and floor 7. And I don't know why I don't have a thing there for floor 7. And now let's just go back to floor 1. So all the way back down to floor 1, and then I'm just going to turn on creative once again. So this does have a quick call function to each floor. So if I click the button here, the elevator will close and any other floor and then open up on the next floor. So it opens up here, so you can quick call this elevator no matter where you are. It also has a player detection, so when someone is taking the elevator, which means if it's moving, they can't quick call the elevator, thus getting someone stuck inside the elevator. This right here will disappear, thus turning off the quick call function. Now let's go over some of the redstone for this thing, because I know it looks like a lot right here. All the command blocks in redstone look a little crazy here, but it's actually not that bad. And I set it up this way so people can take things off or keep everything on if they would like to. Now the green function right here is our up function. This is what makes the elevator go up, and then the yellow one right here is what makes the elevator go down. Now the orange ones over here, every command block with an orange block underneath it is for the multi-floor. This commands the multi-floor, so you know if I want to go to floor 1, then floor 2, then the floor 7, then the floor 6, these command blocks right here pretty much control all of that. Now for the purple function right here, this controls the doors. So if you don't want doors, or if you don't want the multi-floor, you don't have to build that part. The purple function opens and closes the doors, whichever floor we go to, whichever floor we stop on, that's what controls that. That's why there's purple ones over here too, because there's doors that are controlled by the quick call function as well, which is with the blue one right here. The blue is for the quick call, and the red command blocks is for the player detection. So if someone's inside the elevator, no one can call the quick call function until that person reaches their floor and gets off the elevator. So if you don't want that, you're in your own world and you don't need a player detection because you're only player, then of course you can lob that off. If you don't want the doors, you can lob that off. If you just want the up and down function, just the green and yellow, you can just build that. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. I am going to be building this on a flatlands world, because I know most people that do these redstone things usually tend up to be on a flatlands world. However, if you are not on a flatlands world, I highly recommend putting this thing underneath the elevator. Now, like always, I always recommend going over to your settings, going over to your game and turning on your show coordinates. This will make your life 1,000 times easier while building these things. Next up, what we're going to do is also give ourselves a command block by pressing right on our D-pad and then putting in /give at self and then type in command _ and block. We can give ourselves a command block to start things off. Now, before we actually get into doing all our commands and all that good stuff, like I said, this is all going on flatlands for me. If you have the room to dig underneath it and place it underneath, highly recommend doing that. But since I'm doing mine on a flatlands, we're just going to put our elevator off to the left-hand side and keep it to the right, so then we can just cover it up later if we really want to. So for my elevator, I'm going to be using quartz blocks, and I'm going to be using slabs of quartz. You have to use some sort of slab here. It's the only way to make this elevator work is by using slabs. So my elevator, let's say I want it over here somewhere. I'm gonna come over here and place in my blocks that are gonna be my elevator. So my elevator blocks are gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. That's going to be where we're gonna be standing the entire time. And then we're gonna come up 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, because we want our elevator cabin to be at least 3 blocks high. So, you know, if you want to, you can even jump inside the elevator. It's completely up to you. Then right to the right or left hand side, really doesn't matter. We're just going to place down 4 slabs and then come 1 block down and place slabs like this upside down as well, because this is going to be our slab cabin for our elevator. Now I'm going to be popping up something on the screen right now. It is a notepad. I wrote down everything what you are going to need for this elevator. I highly highly recommend writing this down in Notepad. I will also have a quick copy and paste in the description, in the comment section. I'll put it in, I'll pin it as the first comment. All you have to do is just, highlight it all and then copy and paste it into Notepad. It tells you everything, all the coordinates you are going to need for this elevator. So this is the full block elevator coordinate, and this is the slab coordinate. And then of course we're going to have our elevator coordinate, all the coordinates we possibly need for this, because it's all just a fill and cloning command. So now basically what you want to do is figure out where you want to put your elevator. Now you can have glass in the back of it, so I highly recommend, if you're going to do your command blocks, don't do it right behind the elevator. Do it to the left or do it to the right hand side of the elevator. So like I said, I'm going to be putting everything to the left of my elevator, so I'm going to come over here somewhere over here. So let's say right about over here. This is where I want my elevator to go. Right here. Boop, 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 boop. This is the exact spot I want my elevator to go. So once we have the exact spot of where our elevator is, we need to get the coordinate of our elevator. So as you can see right on the notepad, I wrote right at the top, elevator coordinate. This is the first coordinate we are going to write down. So from your elevator, I'm going to be walking into my elevator right here. We need the top left portion of our elevator. So we're going to come right here and go to the top left of our elevator, and we are going to write this down inside our notepad. So mine's going to be -1 for -389. That is my elevator coordinate. Make sure you write down yours as well somewhere in notepad, or if you want to do it on pen and paper, it's completely up to you. Next up, we're going to find the coordinates for our full block elevator, this whole entire thing, and our slab elevator. So to get those, all we have to do is come to the left hand side of it right here, break out this block, stand right here, and write down your first coordinate. Yours is going to be different from mine. Mine's -16 for -391. And now I got to find the second coordinate of it. So I'm going to press enter on my notepad, and now we're going to come up here to this block, to the back right one. So we were right here in the back left. Now we're going to go over here to the back right, and we're going to go right here, break this block, stand here, and my next coordinate for this elevator is going to be -15, 8, -392. So those are my two coordinates I need for my full block coordinate of my elevator. So now that we have this one, we're going to write down our slab coordinate now. So what we're going to do is the same thing there, break this block, stand right on the left hand corner of it, and then type it out in our notepad. And then of course do the same thing for the right one as well. So just place a block right underneath it, stand right here, and then go ahead and write down that one as well. All right, guys, so now that we have those three coordinates, we have our full block, we have our slab, and we have the actual coordinate where our elevator is going to be going. We can start up on the up function of our elevator. I'm going to be using my lime concrete to distinguish the up function from the down function. So I'm going to put it, like I said, somewhere over here to the left so I can hide it up later and have my elevator over here, no command blocks near it. So I'm going to start, let's say, right here with it. So now each floor is going to be 5 command blocks long while going up in the up function. So where our first command block is going to go right here, and then we just got to come out and make at least a 5 command block line. So make 5 command blocks going that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5, just like this. And then what we're going to have is repeaters going into each one set to 4 ticks delay, just like that. And now we're going to come out from the left hand side, 2 more blocks like this. And then coming out of every single one of our command blocks that we have our repeaters set going that way, we're going to set 2 more. We're going to set another repeater on 2 ticks delay in between each one, like so. There we go. Now this is crucial. Make sure that the first command block is set this way, so the arrow is pointing to the backhand side like that. It doesn't matter anywhere else, but I like to just make sure they're all just set the same way. It really doesn't matter, but we're just going to make sure that the first one is set going towards the back, because we're going to need that one for later on. Next up, we can go ahead and set some sort of power to it so we can test it out when we are building it. So, if I click this button, it will activate all my command blocks. So for the first command block ever, we're going to use our slab coordinate first. So we're going to go inside this command block. Like I said, if you're on PC, all you need to know is the fill and the clone command. That's all I am using. So the first one, we're just going to clone our slab coordinate, which you should have wrote down in your notepad or wrote down on a piece of paper. So go to your slab elevator coordinate and write down your slab coordinates. Mine's -18 for -391. And then it's going to be space -17, 7, negative 392. That's my slab coordinate. And then at the end, we're going to put in our elevator coordinate that we wrote down in the beginning. So mine's -1 for negative 389. That is my elevator coordinate. So now if I click this button right here, that part should clone itself over to there. So click the button, boop. And as you can see, it cloned itself perfectly right on those 4 blocks that I placed before. Now all we have to do is on the command block to the right of it that our 2 ticks going into is clone this portion, the full block portion of our elevator in the same coordinate. So we're just gonna go right here, go into our command block input, and we're gonna go ahead and put clone, and then go to our full block portion, put in -16. Yours is going to be different, obviously. Negative 391. Just put in your coordinates, negative 15, 8, and negative 392. You should have them written down in your notepad. You have to do this. It's so much easier if you do this. And then we're going to put in our elevator coordinate for the last one. Mine's -1, 4, and negative 389. So that should make it so when I click it again, it will have that one, and then it'll put in the next portion of our elevator. So I click the button, boop, boop, and as you can see, we now get both portions of our elevator. So bloop, 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 bloop. Hit it too fast there. Boop, boop. So that's all it does. Now to make it go up to the second floor, we are literally just going to add one more number to the middle coordinate. That's it. We're only changing the one number in the middle coordinate of the elevator coordinate. So where mine is -1, 4, negative 389, I'm going to change that 4 to a 5, and that's it. So this is going to go to a 5. This is going to go to a 6. This is going to go to a 7. And that's going to go to an 8. So I'm going to try to speed through this a little bit faster. So remember, the first one is always your slab coordinate. So make sure you put in your slab coordinate first. So clone, always type in clone first. Then mine's going to be -18 once again, 4, negative 391. And then -17, 7, negative 392. And now when I reach my elevator coordinate, first I'm going to put -1. And then instead of 4 this time, I'm going to put 5. Just raise it by 1. Just raise that middle one by 1 every single time. That's all you have to do. And then negative 389. So now when I click the button once again, my slab will be up here now. So watch. Click the button. Up, up, and up. See, now I have a slab on top of that block. And that's it, guys. That's all we're doing. So now we're just going to do the same thing we did here and just set this one to 5. And then the next one will be 6, then 7, then 8, then so on and so forth. So now we're going to put in our full block coordinate. So mine's -16. 4, negative 391, and then mine is -15, 8, negative 392. Oops, you know, I actually forgot to put the clone in, so make sure you put clone at the beginning. So clone, and then at the end for the elevator coordinates, just going to be raised by 1 like I did before, so 5, negative 389. So now I'm going to click the button and show you it goes up another block. So boop. Up, up, and up, and there you guys have it. So now I'm going to fill in these all. I'll go back through them once I get through them all, and then show you that everything is working. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, and I'm back, and I went ahead and filled in the rest of my command blocks. As you can see, it only raises up by 1, so this one starts off at 4. Then you can see the 5 right down there. The bottom number, it says 5 right here. So just look at this number right here, 5, then 6, then 7, then 8. It just raises by 1 number on all of them. So 6, 7, 8. So let's go ahead and quickly test it out right over here. So when I click this button, boop, as you can see, the elevator goes up to the second floor, and I can actually ride it right now if I really want to. So let me go ahead and just break all of this, and I can show you that the whole entire elevator is working. So let me go ahead and just bring the redstone right over here, boop, doop, doop, all the way down till I can reach and click. So let's just put a button right here, and I should be able to hit it from there. So let's see, click the button, and up we go on the elevator, and there we go. I have reached the second floor of my elevator. And now if you want to, you can go ahead and fill in part of your elevator. So this should be at least 3 or 4 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be the first floor right there. And then on the second floor, we have the flooring. I always make it so I can have a ceiling and a flooring. And then this part right here will be the next part of our elevator, right like that. So boop, boop, and up right here. So there is our second floor of our elevator completely done. So now to raise this up another floor, all you have to do is just come out 1 block right here. Place a 4-tick daily repeater coming out of your command block. Place a block in front of it. A block above the repeater with redstone on top of both. And then go ahead and just literally fill in right above your entire command block. So just fill in right above it with another row. There we go. And now it's time to get started on the second row. And guys, we're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again. Just make sure that right here at the beginning, that the first command block is always pointing outwards towards the beginning. That one always has to be pointed outwards, because if you're going to build everything else, you need this one pointing outwards towards that way. And then you can just place it in the rest of them any which way you want. It really doesn't matter. So we're just going to place in our 5 command blocks for our next floor. So we got floor 2 done. So this is going to be floor 4. So 4 ticks between each one. Like that. And then we're going to set these ones to 2 ticks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, like that. And then place command blocks in front of those as well. And guys, we're just following the same pattern. So right down here where we stopped off on 8, where you see right there at the bottom, it says -1, 8, -389. The next one's just going to be 9. So this one right up here, it's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. It's just going to raise up by 1 every single time. So I'm going to go to my slab elevator coordinate first. The first ones are always the slab coordinates. And I'm just going to put in clone, -18. This is mine. And I'm just going to write it out. So there is my slab coordinate. And then for the elevator coordinate itself, mine, instead of now -1, 4, it's going to be -1, 9, because it raises up by 1 once again. It just keeps raising up 1 at a time. 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way up until we reach the topmost part of our elevator that we want this thing to go. So 389, like that. That's what mine's going to be next. So right down here is 8. Then the next one's going to be 9, and then 10, 11, 12, and 13. So I'm going to quickly go through these ones as well. All right, guys, and I'm back, and I filled out the second row. So like I said, it just goes up by 1. So there's 9, 10. This one should be 10 as well. 11, 12, 13. It just raises up by 1 every single time. So now we can go ahead and take the elevator, and we should be able to make it all the way to our 3rd floor. And this is in the way now. So let's see. Click this button right here. So 2nd floor. And then the 3rd floor is right here. And there you guys have it. See, it just goes up by 1 every single time. It's not very difficult. And then we can go ahead and fill this part out. I'm going to go up only 4 floors with this tutorial. I'm not going to go up all 6. It's going to take absolutely forever. You can raise this as high as you want. This is so easy to add on. You just keep adding on and on if you want to make it go up any higher you want. So I made it that way so people could just extend upon it over and over again if they truly want to. So then just, to do the next floor, all we have to do is just come out from this side once again. Set our repeater to a 4 ticks delay. Place a block in front of it. A block above the repeater. 2 pieces of redstone. And then just fill in right above all our command blocks with the extra blocks. And then once we are done filling in all the extra blocks, we can go ahead and fill in our command blocks for this row. And this will be floor 4. So, floor 2, floor 3. And now this one is going to be floor 4. And this is where I'm going to stop on the tutorial. But if you want to go up any higher, everything, it just keeps going. It's just the same thing over and over again, guys. It's just repeated over and over again. There's nothing that changes at all with any of the floors. They're always the same. So I'm gonna go and place in all of these repeaters right here, and then place in my command blocks. And now I'm gonna quickly go ahead and go through this floor too, and then I'll be right back. So like I said, this is the slabs, and this is going to be the full block section. Slab section, full block section. All right, guys, and I'm back, and yet again, I just raised it up by 1, so 14, 15, 16, 17, and last but not least, 18, and that will be the final and 4th floor of my elevator. So I'm gonna quickly go ahead and just break this out real quick so I could test it out to make sure everything is working. So stand right here, click the button, and up we go to the 2nd floor, to the 3rd floor, and last but not least, the 4th floor right here. So I can go ahead and add in now my little section for my 4th floor elevator. And there we have it. So now it's time to make the down function for our elevator, because we have the up function. Now we just need a down function for it. So let's go. I'm actually going to remove this and move it out a little bit so I don't have to keep breaking it every time. There we go. So now to make our down function of our elevator, I like to come out at least 3 blocks from our up function. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Let's go out 4, actually. Come out 4 blocks from it. Make sure you don't get too close to this right here, but this should be enough. This one should only be at least 3. I'd say, yeah, 3 blocks long, and then this one should be only 1 to 2 blocks long. So now we're going to basically do the same exact thing we did there. We're going to take out our command blocks and just do 5 lines. That would be an entire floor. This right here is an entire floor for our down function. And then we're going to place repeaters in between each one, set to 2 tick delay, going towards the backhand side. Instead of working up, though, we're going to work downwards from our top floor downwards to the bottom. And now we don't have to do any of the extra slabs. It's only going to be the full blocks, because you need the slabs to go up, but you only need full blocks to go down. Also, I forgot to mention, make sure your command blocks are facing outwards towards this way. Just make sure they're facing this way because we are going to be using some chain blocks as well. So just make sure your arrows are going away from the green circuit like so. So basically what we're going to be doing is, to start off with our first command input, we need the final command input from up here. So as you can see right there, it says 18. Right here it says 18. So for the first one, we're going to put a 17 instead of an 18. And we are going to be using our full block elevator coordinates. That means we're going to be using the ones that we used over here on this right hand side. So like I said, to get the down function started, all we have to do is just reduce the number by 1 from the last command block. So like I said, mine's 18, so I'm going to be reducing it down to 17 instead. So we're going to be using our full block elevator coordinate, not the slab ones. So place in your full block coordinate by putting in clone, and then we're going to put in our full block coordinate. Mine's -16, 4, -391, -15, 8, -392. That's my full block coordinate. Now I'm going to put in my elevator coordinate, which is -1. And now my last one, like I said, was 18. I'm just going to reduce it by 1 to 17 and then put -389. Now when I send power to this command block right here, this will reduce by 1. It will come down to this portion right here. So I can go ahead and do it real quick for you guys just to show you that it is working. So when I click this button right here, boop, as you can see, it went down 1 block. And that's basically all we're going to be doing. So now all we have to do is reduce it by 1 every single time. So instead of 17, it's going to be 16, then 15, then 14, then 13. And then we're going to bring it up and up and up until we get it completely done. So I'm going to get this whole entire line done first, and then I'll show you that one going, and then I'll do the next line, the next line, and the next line. So starting with the second one, now this one's going to be 16. All right, guys, then I'm back, and I went ahead and did my first line. So now when I click this button right here, it should go down to the 3rd floor. So boop, as you can see, it went all the way down to the 3rd floor. So like I said, now what we have to do is just keep reducing it by 1 by using our full block elevator coordinates. So right here, as you see, 17, 16, 15, 14, and then 13. So now all we have to do with this one is come up like we did over there, except now we're going to use a 2-tick delay repeater. So put it on 2 ticks, place a block above it, a block above your repeater, place redstone, bring it up, and then just bring it over like we've been doing this entire time. Bring it all the way down. Place down all your command blocks, make sure they're facing outwards away from the other one like that, and then place in your repeaters, set to 2 ticks in between every single one of them. So I'm just going to fill in the last 2 rows, guys. I'm pretty sure you get an understanding of what we have to do here. All we're doing is reducing the elevator coordinate by 1 with this one, and then on the up one, it's pretty much increasing it by 1. That's all that's happening here. So I'm going to quickly finish off the rest of this. All right, guys, and I'm back, and my down function is completely done. Same thing, guys. I just reduced it by 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. It just all went down by 1. So now I can go all the way to the 4th floor with my up function. And then, of course, if I was up here, I could easily go down with my down function as well. So there's me going all the way up. And then, you know, if I click this button right here, it goes all the way down. All the way down until we hit the floor. So now what we're going to do is set up it so we can hit the buttons from actually inside the elevator. So if you don't want like the multi-floor and, you know, just want it to go up and down like that, we're going to go ahead and quickly set up some of these buttons for this thing to actually work.